Hello everyone, welcome back to Campus to Corporate Placement Journey. So today we have a very special guest with us. He is currently in his fourth year and he has cracked three offers. First is Infosys, second is TCS, and one more is Coforge. So today we are going to talk about his complete journey, like DSA, college life, and placement preparation, everything. So first of all, congratulations, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, so how are you feeling, like after getting these offers?
See, firstly, my first offer was Coforge actually. So when I got Coforge, it was something like I didn't expect that I would be placed so quick. I thought I would be going through a lot of tension where my friends would be getting placed. I would not be getting placed. I would be the last to be placed something. But later again, after Coforge, other two job placements, right now when I see my friends, they are getting tensed about placements, completely different. I mean, I was in that kind of phase, but right now I'm completely chilled. So, firstly, I'm very happy that by God's grace I've got placed. And second thing is that it's also a major relief that you are placed very early in 4-1 itself. Because you see the job crisis, your friends are getting is sitting in placements and yet they are not able to crack it. That's a different kind of tension. And every day you go home, you have to answer your parents, your friends, your relatives, what has happened, what company has come, are you getting placed? I'm not in that situation right now. So it's a big relief and I'm also very happy about it.
Great, great. So before we start, please introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Sriniketh Pabba. I'm currently pursuing BTech fourth year in VNR VJIET College, Hyderabad. I was born and brought in Hyderabad. My mother tongue is Telugu, and primarily I'm focused into CSC. My major is CSC with a specialization in Internet of Things.
Okay,
However, Internet of Things is a new stream, so we are focused more into that. But along with that, we are also being given training and all the tuition about CSC, DSA, etc. So this is my main part. And apart from that, I have a hobby of playing chess, etc. That's it.
yeah, great, great. Uh, so in first we talk about your college life. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so how are your overall 4 years?
So, firstly, if we speak about from first year itself, in first year when I joined college, I was much more of a chill. The thing is, you see, in these 2 years, we prepare for JE, we prepare for all the competitive exams, a huge competitive exams, a lot of pressure. And suddenly, when you join the college, it's all free. Like you meet new people, there is a campus, etc., etc. It was actually very chill. So in that means I've done some big mistakes. I would say I didn't focus much on my studies. I was like, "Acha, पढ़ लेंगे बाद में," but I was not that much focused. But later, when my scores were low, because my first year CGPAs were like 8.45 in first semester and 8.7 second semester. So then I realized, no, I have to focus. It's because you see, if you are at 9, companies will try to get you. If you are lower, then it is a difficult chance. I'm not saying 8.5 or 8.7 is a low GPA, but you see the competition is growing. So then realized. And from second year, it was more like I have to focus even on my skills, not only studies. So I've started doing DSA, and even my college professors were actually forcing us to pursue skills. So this was my college life. And later, as you see in 3-2, placements started coming in, and we have been applying and have been placed like that.
Yeah, great. So it means you start your DSA journey from the very first year,
No, no, no. From second year, second semester, to be more
second year,
precise.
second semester. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So in like your college, did you join any club or partic participate in hackathon also?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually participated in at least 5 hackathons, and one of it was in IIT Bhubaneswar. Like I was being shortlisted at IIT Bhubaneswar hackathon called Code Relay Hackathon 3.0 Code Relay.
Okay,
And it was mainly as a cyber security kind of hackathon, and at that time I was much more interested in this blockchain and stuff. So we went there and we were fourth placed.
yeah, great.
So that was my major experience. And when it comes to clubs, yes, I'm part of a club. It was more of a what we call Telugu club called Sahiti
Okay,
Vanam. It's a Telugu club. Since I come from Hyderabad, my background is Telugu, so it was a Telugu club. And when it comes to like professional chapters, like in terms of coding, there is something called ISTE, Indian Society for Technical Education. It's an all India club. So I've been a part of it. I'm still a member of it. At that time, I was a volunteer, but right now I'm not a volunteer anymore.
Yeah, great, great. So like in your college life, like how did you manage everything, like a study, placement preparation, DSA, and like hackathon clubs, everything?
Yeah, so this is actually a very good question. The first thing is that it is not that we have to start working from the day one itself, but we have to be pretty planned, like what we have to do, what we wanted to do. The thing is, uh, as what I did is that from my first year, like I've told you, all my first year I was like very chill. I didn't focus much. Yes, I did study, but it was more like, "Arey, exams are isliye padne ka." It's not like I have to study something. I was not so willing to it. And from second year when I realized, from second year semester, second semester more, then I actually realized that my seniors, they have been telling that there are a lot of companies coming, we have to study a lot. So I've thought that, okay, it's not so difficult if I can focus on my skills and also my studies. Partly, it's not that I have to be completely every day 5 to 6 hours. It's not like that. But whatever I spend, I have to be very consistent in it. Even if I study 1 hour a day, it has to be consistent. So that is what I have done. And later, what happens is that the subjects which your curriculum, like DBMS or you see data structures, etc., these are already taught in the curriculum.
Hmm,
So if you actually listen to the classes itself, it is a lot of a bonus. Like most of the students, what they do right now is that they go to YouTube, they search some like videos, and they do. That is because they've actually missed the training, the faculty what they taught them. That should
okay,
not be done. If the proper notes, proper listening is done, and the 4 year of your BTech is only very much enough. That is what I've learned, and this is how I've managed.
great, great. So let's move to the next part. Like now we will talk about your DSA journey. Okay.
Yeah.
So you told like you start your DSA in second year, second semester.
Yes.
Okay. Like say, so like how long did it take for you to become confident in DSA?
How long means I would say at least of 4 to 5 months.
4 to 5 months.
I will be very honest. I was not very consistent while doing DSA.
Okay.
What happened is that in my second semester, there is something called smart interviews. You know, smart interviews.
No.
It is a kind of it is a coaching institute which teaches DSA. It comes
Okay.
to college itself. So our college has provided it. So from second semester, smart interviews has come, that coaching institute, and they have been teaching us every day, every week, one full day, Friday full day of 6 to 7 hours DSA. And in the meantime, we would practice those problems. So what actually happens is that they teach you problems in a kind of a pattern. Like first comes the arrays, then strings, and maybe hashing, etc., etc. I will be very frank, I have not prepared up to trees and graphs. My only thing was up to arrays because arrays is so vast, like it's a ocean. You see, you study a lot of concepts, yet you find something new in arrays. That is what happens with arrays. Now again, trees and graphs, again it comes into a complex category. But when you do complete of arrays, it is actually a major bonus. Again in arrays, it comes strings also. String is nothing but an array of characters. So when you complete up to arrays, then you can say, I was up to confident up to arrays. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, I'm good at DSA. Two arrays I've known. Of course, companies ask me graphs and trees, but yet arrays plays a major role. So up to there, I was confident. It took about 4 to 5 months.
So in 4 to 5 months, you read only array and basic topics.
Yeah, arrays, hashing, and basics of trees and graphs. Like I know what's are trees, not up to coding part, but
Hmm.
conceptually, yeah, I do know.
Okay. 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 Like, and how many questions were you solved?
Questions. To be honest, I have not solved much in lead code. I used to every week, Wednesday, you see, there is something called in Code Chef, there is a contest.
Okay.
from evening 7:30 to 9:30 or 8:30 to 9:30 every 2 hour every week. Wednesday there will be coding. So starters, the coding is starters, 150 starters, 250 every week it happens. I used to do that, and apart from it, mostly I would do coding in CodeChef itself. It's an Indian platform,
Hmm.
so I used to do in that. Lead code I did not touch much.
Okay. So like if someone doing DSA like 4 to 5 months, let's assume. Okay. But
Okay.
they don't know he is confident or not, like he has knowledge or not. So how do we know that our DSA preparation is good enough or not?
See that the main thing is that firstly, what happens is that you see when you learn a concept,
Hmm.
at that time you will be like, I know something. But when you actually apply, you will know your standard where you actually understood, where you can actually implement. Uh, what I actually say is that practice a lot and lot amount of problems, whatever it takes. At least ample amount of problems. Now, what happens is sometimes you solve similar kind of problem. People say that solving similar kind of problem is not much of a deal, but actually what happens is you will understand clearly what is happening. You will understand the pattern, though it you are wasting some time by investing this energy in same kind of things. You will understand. What I'm trying to tell you is that each concept, practice is ultimate. Whatever they thought it is, like it is different part, but what you're actually doing is important. And also you have to write coding contests. Like there are free coding contests. Lead code has every week coding contest. Code chef has code forces, etc. Practice. And what I would say is that in code chef, if you're talking about code chef, people are doing code chef. If you are able to solve in code chef, there are total of 6 questions, 6 to 7 questions in each coding contest, in the Wednesday contest. If you are able to solve 3 to 4, understand that you're good, because 3 to 4 problems in 2 hours is a good thing. And if you are able to touch 4 problems, then that's something like you can improve a lot. You're able to do, you can even go far. But as of now, I would say if you really wanted to be confident, then you have to solve at least of four. I would say four. If you're able to do up to four, at least partial of fourth question, three full and a partial of fourth question, then I could say that the candidate is really good.
Okay, great, great. So move to the next part, your development journey.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry. Ask.
Yeah, you can start. Like when did you
No, no,
start
no.
your
Like
development?
I was thinking something else.
Okay, okay.
Continue.
I was just asking like when did you start your development journey?
Like you're asking in terms of skills and all. Like
Yeah, like you are good in blockchain.
yeah, I mean not so good. Yeah, but yes, yeah, you could say that. You could say that I'm
Yeah.
good at blockchain.
So I'm asking like when did you learn blockchain?
So what happens is that you see, like in my college, it is something very mandatory. I guess in most of the colleges that you have to get in fourth year and mandatory NPTEL certification.
Hmm.
Right now, but we didn't realize that it shall be only in fourth year. I thought that in any of the fourth year I should do one NPTEL course and have to get a certificate. At that time, I chose blockchain and its technology as NPTEL certification.
Okay.
And the course is really good. It is taught by Varun Chakraborty sir, IIT, he's IIT Kharagpur, I guess. The classes are publicly available in YouTube, but if you wanted to get a certificate, you have to write an exam through NPTEL. You have
Hmm.
to pay some fee. So I have done that. So it is a 12-week course. And all those 12 weeks, he will actually teach you the concepts, the mathematical formulae. Once you can understand that, you can go in depth. Like you will be having a lot of public resources, and you see in when it comes to blockchain there is something called tokens. Okay, and these tokens are also publicly available, Ethernet, you see Bitcoin, etc. These are all actually the real stuff, but you will also find the test cases, like the test purposes ones. So these will actually help you to gain some experience and knowledge about it.
Okay. And how many projects did you make?
Primarily, I've made four, but the fourth one actually I've left the blockchain part. I have made something called a certificate verification system, which I have actually implemented in IIT Bhubaneswar hackathon. So I have only done the back end part of it. I have not done the front end. But if you ask even about the front end, then I've done only 3 projects.
Okay, and which one is the your best project? Like you put into your
Uh,
resume.
my best project would be the latest one, like which I've done. It is called um, intruder detection in low light. So in extreme pitch dark conditions, suppose it's night 12 and there is no light. So my project, what it does is that in home, if some you see intruder detection, what intruder means something a stranger or an outsider. So
Okay,
my use case is that I will be inserting a camera, and behind the camera there is some backend logic. So what happens is that if the camera can see only the person, but it can't, I mean the image, but it can't detect the person. So I've made a pipeline wherein if it is a dark image, I've set a threshold limit up to 70 units. So if it is less than 70 units of something brightness, the image will be captured for every 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And once the image is captured, it is converted into a brighter image. There is some algorithm, zero DC plus plus, it's a library. So a bright image would be converted, and this bright image, in that bright image, a face would be founded. And if the face
okay,
is, suppose it's me, if I am the house owner, and if it's me, then there is no need for setting an alarm or sending a message to the owner, because it's I am the owner. But if it's someone who's an outsider, then and message would be popped up to me saying that there is somebody, and with the image, the enhanced bright end image. So this is what I've done. And suppose sometimes you see in homes, you like milkman comes, serviceman comes, our friend comes. At that time, an alarm is not necessary. You could just check it. Yeah, you can just accept. But sometimes there is some complete out stranger or maybe and bad man might come. At that time, it is helpful. The main thing is that like these systems exist a lot, but my special, I mean, what the novelty in what we have done is extreme dark conditions. Even in pitch dark, when nothing is visible, I
hmm,
will try to brighten the image. That is what I've done.
great. So let's move to the uh, placement journey. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I start with the Infosys.
Yeah. The thing is, firstly, I've got Coforge. My
Okay, I
first
start with the
company,
Coforge.
Coforge. My first company was Coforge. So Coforge, it actually came to our college. The main criteria, eligibility criteria, was that it kept a limit of up to 8.5 CGPA,
Okay,
and mine was around 8.6 CGPA somewhere. So I've been eligible for it. So when the first round was an online coding round, and this was not held in college; it was held in home itself.
okay,
So we have written. Uh, there were multiple there were multiple like technical questions, CN, DBMS, etc. And after that, an English proficiency test, like listening test and writing test, fill in the blanks, etc. And there was one coding question, and mine was partially solved, like partially. There was somewhere around 10 test cases. Mine was something 6 solved, and I was shortlisted for the interview. The interview part, there are 2 interviews. One is technical interview, another is HR interview. My technical interview was actually very good interview. The interviewer asked me a lot of things. He has asked me C and DB, not except DBMS. He has covered most of the part. And finally, the last question which he asked me was quick sort question. I mean, he told me to write a sorting algorithm. He first told me to write bubble sort. I was like, okay, then no. He told me to write a quick sort. I've written. He was satisfied, and then he has told, finally suggest me to HR. HR was like, okay, as you know, they ask all the behavioral questions like, are you okay with the relocation, etc. Are you okay with uh, what we call night shifts and overwork time? I said, yeah, I'm okay. I've already discussed, and that's it. When we come to the part of Infosys actually through Hack with Infi.
okay,
So Hack with Infi, it's an all India process. So first round was coding round. Actually, there are two coding rounds in Infosys. First round was coding round at online home. There were totally
okay,
3, and I was able to solve 2.
okay,
So I was shortlisted for the second round, which was college coding round, wherein Infosys people have come as invigilators,
Okay.
and higher view people, and even my college faculty were invigilators, and and there were a total of 4 questions in college coding round. Out of those, I have solved two. So when I solved two, I was eligible for L1 role, 11 lakh role.
Okay.
There are totally four roles in. One is 7 lakhs DSC, 11 lakhs L1, 16 lakhs L2, and 20 or 21 lakhs L3. So
Okay.
I was shortlisted for an interview of L1 role. And in L1 role, I'll be very frank, he has asked me one DSA question firstly. One DSA question in interview. He has asked me, find the second largest element in an array.
Hmm.
I have written its logic, but somewhere I failed the test case, and he told me this logic won't be able to find for duplicates.
Okay.
So he told me try again. I was like, okay, I tried, and somewhat it got managed. Like he understood, like, okay, my DSA is only up to arrays, so he did not go up to trees. So later he shifted to all the CS fundamentals part, and he has asked me computer networks, deadlocks, etc. And to be honest, I am strong in DBMS, SQL, etc. I'm very strong in SQL. So he has asked me, since I was, he asked me up to 15 questions of SQL, 10 to 15 questions of SQL.
Oh.
Like I was going on answering, he was asking, I was going on answering, and he was going on asking. It was happening. One or two questions I failed to answer in first attempt, but again he told me like try again. I was able to answer. At the end of the interview, the interviewer asked me like, "Do you have any questions?" I've asked him, "Can you assess my performance?" He was like, he told me you have to focus in DSA part, but when it comes to SQL, you are really good at it. You just practice more in SQL, you will be good at it. That is what. And coming to TCS, as you know, TCS, it is, I forgot, it's next step. The TCS comes through next step. So, firstly, is a coding round in college itself. I mean, it's not completely a coding round. You will be asked aptitude, reasoning, logical ability, English, email writing, and finally coding. There were two coding questions. Actually, in my shift, there were pretty easy coding questions. One was something like, uh, he gave me an array, he told me to sort it, and he also told me to print the difference between the sum of difference between every two consecutive elements.
Okay.
It was pretty easy one. So I was able to solve two of the two questions. And later, so I was shortlisted for prime role in TCS.
Okay.
So in my prime role, my what I didn't realize is that in TCS they will ask you in interview based on the interest you have kept while applying. So while applying, I kept my area of interest as machine learning.
Okay.
So in interview, most of the questions were of machine learning. Like they asked, what is lasso and ridge regression? What are the what you call disadvantages of linear forest model? Sorry, random forest model,
Okay.
etc. And they have also asked questions about my project, like how do you import a database, and how do you, like, you are supposed designing a website and the user is entering some data. So how would you export the data to external database? So these kind of questions I was able to answer. One or two I've missed, but I was confident. I was confident in it, and that's all. And in TCS, what happens is that in the interview, there are totally three interviewers. One is TR, MR, and HR. The TR and MR take HR, like the interview at once. Like there will be two panelists, one is PR and one is MR, and I am there. And I've been shortlisted for HR. So I went to HR. The HR was more of like, what are your work preferences, like workplace preferences? I told Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and they have asked me about my hobbies. I also have a hobby of reading books. So they have asked me, what was the recent book you read? So I've told them like this, etc. And that's all. That was the interview. And what I would say is that I was actually shortlisted. I was selected for a digital role. Though I gave a interview for Prime in TCS, I was selected for digital role. Now, why digital? Why was I not selected for prime? If I am able to recollect, it is that I missed some important questions. Like I missed to answer some one or two important questions. Like I've told you in TCS, in whole of the interview, I was not able to answer one question, I guess. And that one question was a very important question. How do you export the data to the external database from the website?
Okay.
I was, I told, and they told me to answer in terms of SQL. I was not able to exactly recollect. I told them in MongoDB there is something called token. So you link it and it appears here as something. They were not so much convinced. They were like, you told you're good at SQL, but you're not able to answer. I told him, no, ma'am, I'm in SQL. I'm good at queries part, tables part, or joins, etc. But I'm not exactly at this. I use MongoDB for database. They were like, acha, okay, it's fine. And the same happened with Infosys also. The Infosys, the interviewer actually understood that I'm not so great at DSA. I'm okay at DSA,
Yeah.
but I'm good at DBMS.
Mm.
So I've gave interview for L1 role, but I've been shortlisted for DSC.
Yeah.
So in my whole journey, if I what I understood from the interviewer's part is that all my three companies, Coforge, Infosys, and TCS, it is that interview is gonna shortlist you, is gonna select you if he finds out that you know something. Suppose you have done a project and you actually know what you have done in project. Though he might not know any prerequisite technical knowledge about it, he will actually test you that whether you know how you have done this. And even if you're not able to answer 100% right, he has to get a intimation or he has to understand that the candidate knows something about what he has done. अगर उसको ही नहीं पता कि वो क्या करा तो उसको क्यों select
Yeah.
करूंगा. It is
Yeah.
something like that. So he has to know. That is what has happened.
Bro, great journey. Like
Thank you.
incidents. Yeah. And how? One more question. Like, what do you think? Like, help you to crack like all three offers?
First is communication skills.
Hmm.
Okay, first is communication skills. I'll be honest. I have no stage fear. I can speak in front of 1,000 people or 10,000 people about any topic, a random topic. I have no stage fear. And this, I mean, in my school days itself, in school days I was extremely shy, to be honest. The teachers used to intentionally pick me and used to speak about this in front of a stage. So this fear has gradually helped me to overgrow it. And in terms of, I've got better communication skills. So good communication is always important. What happens is that even if you're sometimes not confident, then it would not the demeanor would not look so good. E-
Hmm.
Even if you're having a lot of knowledge, but you're not so confident, then the interviewer like, "Arey, he's not having 100% sure that he can do it."
Yeah.
And in terms of taking a decision, then you might you might go down. So that would be a problem. One is communication. Second is that uh, technical knowledge is very much important. Like no matter how much good your communication is, I mean, of course communication is necessary. At the same time, your technical knowledge is, you have to be good at it. It's not that you can escape. Sometimes some or the other part you will face this technical knowledge. And to be honest, you see right now even the training is going like, even though you're shortlisted, if you don't pass to the training, pack your bags.
Hmm.
So technical knowledge is important. DSA, yes, do focus on DSA. Even SQL part, like now Postgres is going more of a trend, but still SQL is primary. Do learn SQL, and that's all. I would say like enjoy karo, पर जब placement है ना, you have to focus. At that time, if you're gonna miss, then that is gonna cost a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I
I
feel.
have one more thing to ask. Like
Yeah.
the aptitude part.
Yeah.
How important is aptitude for this company or other company also?
See, firstly, if you see right now in today's world, aptitude is everywhere. It's not particularly there in software only. It is there in banking. It is there in UPSC. It is there everywhere. So we have to understand that aptitude is mandatory everywhere, right? No, but if you are asking why aptitude, it's because, see, the thing is, it is a logical thinking of for something brain. Now you see there are a lot of topics: time, work, and number of days work day, something, these kind of questions in aptitude. What happens is that we have to understand it is a part of our daily life only. If you are able to analyze those situations, see, what I understood is that initially my days in my first year and second year, I used to think that coding languages are actually very important, we have to learn that. But more important than coding, we have to get know of the logic.
Yeah.
To have a good logic, you need to be at least a bit good at aptitude, because aptitude is all logical thinking only. Like, you think about the different possibilities, you will have some a lot of formulas. You see any DSA question right now you solve, you will finally try to get a formula, and you'll apply that formula, you will get an output. That is what happens in aptitude. So aptitude is very much important. And like, people who are a bit struggling at aptitude, what I would say is that make your calculations faster. Like, you need to know what is like 11 into 22 very fast.
Mm.
I mean, if you know that, then you're gonna save a lot of time. It is a the thing is, initial days, if a person has done an aptitude question in 3 minutes, that is way he would be considered as good, but not right now, because you have to write make able to solve an aptitude question within 30 to 60 seconds. So the questions have been that upgraded, and even I mean, the systems have also been that upgraded. So aptitude is very much important, I would say. If
Okay.
a person is scared that aptitude is there in software companies, I will not join software, then it's gonna be there in even in government services. There is
Yeah.
not, I would say, today major of the government services in India are asking aptitude as their first round. Even UPSC is asking CSAT public CSAT examinations like that.
Yeah. So how did you prepare for aptitude?
Uh, in my case, uh, from my school days itself, there was something a subject called mental ability.
Mm.
Mental ability was nothing but an aptitude in those days. So they used to consider 10 marks of internal of mental ability into mathematics only. So
Okay.
whole of 20 marks of internals, in that 10 marks was mental ability itself. So from those days only, I was a bit nurtured to it. And secondly, if you see, there are a lot of books on aptitude. And particularly this year, before the TCS came, I guess in somewhere in November or sorry, November, somewhere in January or February, uh, one of a coaching institute from Aptitude. His name is Sridhar, a Teluguite guy from South India. He taught us for about 1 month aptitude, like all the aptitude. So we daily practiced, and he has given us everyday PDFs to practice. So we have practiced that questions daily. I would approximately solve 10 to 15 questions daily aptitude. That has actually made me better.
For a month.
Like per day, 10 to 15 questions for 1 month, every day. See, what happens is that each class was up to 3 to 6 hours. So in three to
Okay.
six hours, he used to complete one whole chapter: time and work, pipes, what we'll call, there is some clock. It is all one chapter. So in that one chapter would be, he would teach the concept in 3 hours, and subsequently the problems would also be solved within that one day. So like for that whole 1 month, not only me, most are my friends, all the like students, they were better. They became better actually. The aptitude.
Okay. And can you tell us like some topics what a student can prepare before exam?
DSA is mandatory. That
Yeah.
is something which you can't neglect. First is DSA. Second is right now you see there are a lot of CS fundamental questions asked. DBMS.
Okay.
It's not exactly that. Most of the guys don't ask queries. They ask you the logics, the structures, or maybe they would be asking, find out the candidate key in the given table, primary, super key, etc., etc., etc. DBMS. Other is what we call OS, operating systems. In operating systems, if you have to go much more precise, than deadlocks. Deadlocks is an easy concept and yet a very scoring concept. when it comes to even in technical interview and also in coding rounds. I mean to say online assessment rounds. In both it is asked. Apart from OS, DBMS, there is CN, computer networks. uh, because computer networks is everywhere. Like you see, even big giant tech giants are still, they rely on computer networks because it's very primary.
Hmm.
Computer networks, even that you just brush up the concepts. Like it's not like you have to study each and every subtopic, etc. You can just focus on main things. And also oops is primary. Why oops? Because right now you see, C++ is just for coding part for students to learn. But most of the companies, they don't use C++ as their coding language. They use either Java or Python something. Now you see, of course, C++ is object oriented language, but Java and Python are prerequisite. They're mainly for object oriented, especially Java. Java is itself an object oriented mainly. So oops is very much important. Now in oops, there are a lot of questions. And if a person is having, he's not having not much time, but he's having an interview or something, then he could just Google, like in Google, he can just type top 100 oops questions. He
Okay.
will find very good questions. Those top 50 to 100 questions will actually give him a lot of idea. Because oops, one is oops, second is CN, third is OS, and DBMS. These four are prerequisites. Any of the three is also fine. Sometimes you will see CN is not much asked, but OS is asked. Sometimes you see CN is asked, DBMS is not asked. However, these four are important.
Okay. Like now we will talk about the main problem, the time management for a student.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like how did you manage and how you recommend someone to manage their like daily routine?
Yeah. So what I would say is that, see, yeah, I mean, if we see the timeline from morning 9 to 5, there is some college 9 to 4 or 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Now you see, 9 to 5, either you go to classes or you may not go to classes. You may spend time with friends or bunk, etc. What I would say is that every day, if you are starting early itself, every day at least try to spend 2 to 3 hours on studying, on skills part. 2 to 3 hours. Whatever interest you're having, suppose you want to learn DBMS, start it. 2 to 3 hours. It's not that every day you have to study. Like, I mean, I'm not saying go on like 8 hours, 9 hours. If you're being consistent for 2 to 3 hours, you are coming home, you're chilling, sub, ho gaya, you're fresh. I guess most of the guys would be coming by 5 or 6 to home. You will be having time up to 10 o'clock. If you sleep at 10 or 11, in from 6 to 10, if you are managing to study up to 2 to 3 hours every day, let me tell you, you are at very far. You are way too ahead, because every day 2 to 3 hours means you are almost able to cover at least one or two topics per day. And if you continue that for 1 month or 2 months, you will do a lot. And Sundays, though, see, I'm not saying that Sundays you have to study. Sundays is a part of enjoyment. Even I am a kind of that guy who doesn't like to study on Sundays. But
Yeah.
what I would say is that in whole of Sundays, at least spend again 2 to 3 hours. अगर शाम पे आप बाहर जाएंगे, फ्रेंड से घूमेंगे, नहीं तो सिनेमा देखेंगे, सब वो चलेगा।
Hmm.
पर दोपहर के टाइम पे, सुबह टाइम पे आपको कुछ उतना काम नहीं रहेगा ना, घर पे रहेंगे ना, तो वो टाइम पे आप थोड़ा हॉलीडेज मिलेंगे, एंजॉय करो। आई एम नॉट सेइंग डू नॉट एंजॉय, बट 2 to 3 hours per day, if you are able to invest, it is very much for software now. It is very much enough for 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. Great. Uh, Suppose a student is watching this episode, okay, and he is currently in second or third year somewhere,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
and he has done nothing almost in DSA,
He's in second year right now. Suppose a second.
okay, second year,
Okay. Second year. Okay.
and he has nothing done,
Okay.
okay, and even development part also, like he just started for like he is being serious for placement right now.
Sorry, your video has struck. Hello.
My video
Can you
is
repeat?
sorry.
Yeah. Right now it's fine. Right now it's fine. Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
Okay, okay, okay. Like suppose a student is watching this episode and he is in his second year. Okay, and he is not uh, doing anything. Like he is not done anything like DSA development, not any part. Okay, and he want to sit in placement. Okay, so how should he start? If he want to start from today onward.
Okay. So it's actually a very nice question. Actually, this happens to a lot of people, like even sometimes to myself. So firstly, I would say, see, there are. I would always say to my friends, there are basically when we are sitting for software, there are primarily two focus areas. One is coding, one is DBMS. I don't mean DBMS as SQL itself. I mean DBMS as DBMS. There
Okay,
is a difference. Like DBMS is database management. SQL is a language of DBMS. Okay. So there is one is coding part and another is database management. Now, what happens is that coding is something where you have to actually stress yourself. Like you have to really focus. And it is a scoring part. Other scoring part is DBMS. What happens is DBMS is that you do not have to much invest yourself like you do in DSA or in coding part. So if he is having really less time, then firstly he has to start with DBMS.
okay,
DBMS means it doesn't mean only an SQL language. Of course, SQL is primary language. You have Postgres, etc. That's all there. But firstly, learn an SQL in YouTube. Let me tell you, you will find a lot of tutorials, one-shot videos about SQL. Start with SQL, and I'll be very frank: 3 to 5 hours a video will be very much suffice. Up to joins is more than enough for SQL. Another part is that you have to learn about your in DBMS. You have like this normalization techniques, special window functions, etc. So this is first. And apart from DBMS, even if he is able to find much time, and let me tell you something. If you the whole DBMS, if you properly focus, can be completed in 5 days to 1 week. If you do every day 2 to 3 hours only, you can complete in 5 days to 1 week. I have my friends who have completed whole DSA in 2 days by investing 8 hours every day. In 2 days, 8 hours, 8 hours, one full day video, another full day, full queries part. They have focused, normalization, etc. Everything. I would say in 1 week you can be very good at DBMS. When it comes to DSA part, you really need some time. Now you see, if you are low on time, it's not that you can go up to trees and graphs. You can do some limited questions. Now in like I told you, arrays are is a, it's like an ocean of it. It's an ocean of topics. Now in arrays, you will find two pointers, sliding window, etc. So there are some standard concepts in arrays. Try to solve that, hashing, etc. And even after this, if there is some time left and you can do something, then just like brief out, like briefly learn what is deadlock, OS part, a bit of CN part, etc. Now what happens is that, like I told you, in interview, it's not that you have to always answer the correct one. It is not only the interview is not only merely you have to answer a correct one. It's also like whether you know the concept or not. The interviewer has to understand that. So even suppose if an interviewer asks me what is suppose in DBMS part, if he asks me what is a candidate key, and I don't know candidate key, but I tell him like I'm not able to recollect at the moment, but I know what is a super key, and candidate key is also similar of a nature. And if I explain what is super key, he will be like, Acha, okay, he knows something. That is what happens. It's not that you have to know everything, but whatever you know, be confident about it is what I would say. This is what is primarily needed, minimum.
okay. And for project,
And if it comes to projects now, like you see, there are a lot of projects on GitHub, etc. I would not tell you to like pick one and do something. But what I'm saying is that pick a simple project first. Pick a simple. I'm not telling. You see, right now, most of the people are aiming for AI ML projects. Now, AI and ML projects are big projects. What I mean to say is there are like complex projects. The coding is a really big part. There is a lot of pipeline in it. Where it pick up some simple projects. Projects like what you call I would say hospital management system. First, you do a smaller project. catch a smaller project. You will have a lot of public repos. Study about the project, study the logic of the code. Once you understand what is happening in a minimum project, you can upgrade yourself. Don't aim higher like, Array, I will do something like RAG system. It is very trending. RAG, AI, RAG, LLM, agentic AI is all trending. I have to do something. It's not going to happen like that. First, start lower. Do something a smaller one. You will have an idea about it, and then you can shift to larger ones.
Great answer. Okay, bro. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast. And
Thank you for asking actually.
yeah, and congratulations once again for all your offer.
Thank you.